Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jamie and it has been a while. I make videos, I guess less frequently these days, about knitting and yarn and fiber arts, all that kind of stuff. So if that is interesting to you, if you're interested in that kind of thing, feel free to subscribe and go check out my other videos because I do have quite a few. It's just been a little while since I've posted, but I'm gonna explain all of that, and I'm hoping to start bringing YouTube back into my life a little bit more, but I'm not making huge promises because, as I will explain very soon, it's a bit of a crazy time. Feel free to check out my Instagram. I am very active on there, posting, all the time, and that is probably where you'll find the most content from me, which is at Jamie_creates. I'm nearly at 100,000 followers, which is literally insane. I don't even feel like I can even say that out loud without being like, what is my life? But yeah, so if you're not already following me, follow me because it'd be really cool to reach 100,000. I also have TikTok, but I'm trying to get better at doing that. Yeah. And you can also check out all my patterns, which are on my website, Etsy, Ravelry, and some of them are on Ribbler, and the links will all be in the description. So today's video is going to be a knitting podcast. It has been, I think I checked, it's been about 2 months since I last did a knitting podcast, and it's been about a month since I last uploaded on YouTube. So a lot's been going on, and there's a reason I haven't done a podcast in a while. I think I did talk about this briefly in my last video, but I didn't go into too much detail. I'll definitely be able to explain more in this video. So normally in my knitting podcast, I'll show you my works in progress, my finished objects, and occasionally I'll talk about some yarn that I've acquired if I feel so compelled. And that was like a pretty good kind of system. I do it maybe every like 3 to 4 weeks, and I usually had like heaps to show you in that time, but this year has definitely taken a turn. It's not quite what I anticipated. If you go back to my like 2023 knitting goals video, I mean, I think even watching that now, I'd probably just be like, whoa, she did not know what was coming because things have changed a lot since then, and definitely in a good way. Opportunities that I am very, very grateful and excited to have been given, and that I really couldn't say no to, but has definitely, just changed the way that I'm spending my time in a way. It's changed my kind of business structure, I guess, for the next couple of months, put it that way. It's all really exciting things. So I think I'll just take some time to just like catch you up what I've been doing and how that's obviously impacting what I can and can't show you and what I've been working on. And then I do have actually quite a few finished objects that I can show you that I have done in the last couple of months, and also one whip that is a big one. So I will kind of catch you up on where I'm at with that because I've made quite a bit of progress with that, slowly but surely. Okay, so let me just get straight to it. So I think I mentioned in my last video that I'm doing some freelance work for a brand. I don't even know if I mentioned what brand it is. The brand is Cardigang. They are a knit kit business in Australia that I actually collaborated with last year and released a kit with them. They are absolutely amazing and super, super lovely girls that run the business, and they have offered me some freelance work this year to help them with their pattern development and sample knitting, etc. So basically my role has been and is, and hopefully will be in the future, to bring their ideas to life, essentially. So they are the ones who are still designing their kits. It's not that like I'm designing their pieces, like it's still very much their ideas, but then I work with them to bring those ideas to life. So that involves knitting up the samples for their patterns, and that's been super, super fun. And then also writing the patterns, grading the patterns, and those are the main things that I've been doing, and it's been amazing. I have done well, I'm still kind of finishing off the last one, but 6 samples for them. The thing is I don't, obviously I can't show you because they haven't been released. A lot of them are in some of their new colors that also haven't been released yet, but they're really, really exciting. So I just, yeah, I'm not really going to be showing you any of those. I actually don't even have most of the samples with me at the moment because I had to give them back to them because they needed them for a shoot. So yeah, I can't even show you them even if I wanted to. But yeah, it's been super, super fun. I really love working with their yarn, and it's been really cool to kind of just get like paid to knit, and like that's just been, yeah, really, really enjoyable. And writing the patterns, I've like made a start on that as well, so that's been cool. And yeah, that's going to be for their winter collection. So I definitely will like show you or like talk about the pieces once they've come out, whether that be on Instagram or here, I'm not entirely sure, but like once they have been shot and, you know, shown to the world, I'll definitely be like, look, I made that. But until then, yeah, I guess you'll just have to wait and see. I really love all the designs, and yeah, it's been really fun. So that opportunity came in January, and I was like, yes, absolutely. And then I think at like the very end of January, I got an email from a publishing company in the US, which is just like, once again, can't believe I'm even like saying that out loud. And they wanted to know if I wanted to write a book with them. So I was like, obviously just like shocked and very excited, but like never thought that that's something I would be doing this earlier in my career, and just ever, honestly. And of course I had to say yes. Like, why would I say no to that? That is like a crazy, crazy opportunity to write a pattern book and have it be like distributed in the US and in the UK and in Australia and in bookstores and like on Amazon. And like, I just, oh my God, like that was just, it's like a dream I didn't even know I had, because it's like, I didn't even think to dream that big, I guess. Like that was not something that I even had on my radar of things that would be a possibility, because I just never thought a publishing company would reach out to me. So that is just like insane, and has definitely very much taken over my life at the moment. I announced the book maybe like a week or so ago when I'm filming this, probably like 2 weeks ago from when this is uploaded, which was really exciting because it was so hard to keep a secret. I am just like very bad at keeping secrets. I just want to say everything that I'm doing and just talk about things, and I really struggle with keeping secrets. So as soon as I was allowed to announce it, basically like as soon as I had signed the contract, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just announce it, even though the book is only going to come out early next year, and it's not available for pre-order yet. Obviously when it is, I will tell you. But I just was like, you know what, like I'm going to be working on this for the next couple months. It's going to be probably the primary thing I'm going to be working on. So especially because I do social media as part of my business, and I'm probably not going to be able to release many patterns, if any, during this time that I'm writing the book. I feel like I definitely should keep my audience in a loop and share the process with them. And yeah, so that is what I'm doing. So the book is going to be focused on quick knit sweaters and tops, and it's gonna have like cardigans, jumpers, sweaters, whatever you want to call it, vests, etc., all knit with like bulky to super bulky weight yarn. I think maybe like one will have like Aran weight, but other than that, I think the rest will all be, yeah, within like the, think like Alpacino Merino to Crazy Sexy Wool like range, which is super fun, and I'm really excited about it. It's definitely hectic to try and like picture myself designing 18 patterns in the next couple of months, but we're very much on our way. I have made a start. I think I've knit up 2 full samples and 2 half samples, and I've got yarn for a bunch more, and I'm still waiting for yarn to come for a bunch of others. And yeah, we're slowly but surely getting there. It's gonna be hectic. It's gonna be a lot. I don't have a ton of time to do this. My deadline is in the middle of the year, so that's like to submit the whole manuscript. So that's gonna be, it's gonna be a lot of work, but I'm really excited about it, and I'm really lucky to be able to put the time into doing this. And yeah, I'm super excited. I'm not going to show you any of the samples just yet. I think I'll wait for like a separate video maybe to reveal all the designs. Yeah, that's just how I feel at the moment. Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I'll do another video showing some of the designs. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, yeah, I think just follow my Instagram because I am posting little sneak peeks here and there of some of the patterns that I'm doing. And yeah, it's so exciting. And I just couldn't be more grateful that this is something that I'm doing. And yeah, I don't know what else to really say about it. I just that like it's gonna be a busy couple of months. Okay, so those are like the two major updates. I am gonna be releasing a pattern. It is gonna be coming out early April, so potentially next week, potentially mid-April. It just depends, really. But I'm just gonna say early April for now. And that is for the Josephine Vest, which is actually the vest that I'm wearing right now. And I guess is one of my FOs because I haven't shown this one since I filmed my last podcast. So this is actually the second sample that I did. The first one ended up being way too small. So that one is, I guess, an extra small now. And this one is a medium. So the first one was just a bit of a fail on my part in terms of trying to get it to fit me. So I'm like, all right, well, that's an extra small. I'll make a medium that will fit me and I can wear. And it is using the Wool & Works Fingering Suri, which is beautiful hand-dyed 100% Suri alpaca yarn. And my friend Chloe, who runs Wool & Works, has been dyeing up a storm. So many of my test knitters have used her yarn, which just warms my heart, and it's been so cool and lovely to see her yarn being used from like my test knitters all over the world and in all different colors. And I'm just so excited to like put all the photos together and to show you like a beautiful rainbow of all of the Josephine vests in her yarn. And also some of my testers have used other gorgeous yarns as well, so it'll be cool to show how it looks on some other alternatives as well. But yeah, so this pattern's definitely been greatly anticipated. I already have the Josephine jumper out, which I released quite a while ago. So yeah, this has definitely been in the works for a while, and I'm so excited to finally almost be able to release it. It has this gorgeous, just like put my hand through so you can like see properly, but it has this beautiful lace detailing in the middle, which is also on the back, this folded neckline, and it's just really soft and nice to knit and perfect like for wearing. I wear it on its own, and I'm layering it today because it's a little bit colder. And yeah, it's like the perfect spring knit. So if you are in the Northern Hemisphere and you're going, you're in spring already, this is the perfect spring/summer knit. So that's, I guess, that's one of my FOs, and keep your eyes peeled for the pattern release. We're actually going to be doing like kits. So if you want to use Chloe's beautiful yarn, you can, yeah, there'll be a specific listing on her website where you can just select your size and it'll automatically give you the amount of yarn that you need for your size. And that's not very much because from sizes extra small to extra large, it only uses one skein and all the other sizes use two. So even though it's hand-dyed yarn, I would say it's actually quite an affordable pattern to knit because like her skeins come with 400 meters, so it actually goes a long way. So yeah, that's really exciting. So keep an eye out for that and follow Wool & Works as well to see any updates on the kits. And yeah, okay. So that's this one. My finished objects are on the floor, so I'm just gonna pick them up as I see them. There's no real order to it. There's no I'm just going as I see them. So about a month ago, I went to the Harry Styles concert, Love on Tour in Melbourne, which was really fun. And I decided the day before that I was going to knit myself my outfit because I just was chaotic like that. I don't know. I didn't really have the time for it, but I just made the time, I guess. And what I ended up doing was making a chunky game set match top by Kara's Knitting. And it I actually made it in a size medium, which I think I've never done. I think in the past I've done the small. So I decided to go with the medium just because I've found sometimes the small is a little bit too tight on me. But then when I put it on, I was like, oh, I think it's a bit too loose. So I actually ended up adding some elastic to it, and oh my goodness, that was the smartest thing I could have done, because I could wear it without a bra. It was so supportive, like even though it was just like chunky yarn, like because I had the elastic, I didn't feel like anything was gonna fall out, and I could dance all night and had a great time. I ended up crocheting HS obviously onto the front. I used the blue and the pink because I was feeling like fine line vibes, because I just love the pastels and I love that album. The main yarn that I used is the Wool in the Gang Crazy Sexy Wool in Glow Up Cream that I had left over from one of the book patterns, which I will show you eventually. But yeah, I had about one skein left over, so I ended up using that. And to be honest, it's actually kind of stained pink in some spots because I had this like bright pink feather boa. If you've like seen any content from Harry Styles concerts, you'll know that feather boas are like basically a staple of every concert goer's outfit, so of course I had to have one. But yeah, there are like little pieces which I've like been trying to get out, but like there are still a couple of like little pink little feather pieces, which kind of don't really matter because this yarn kind of has all these little speckle, little glow in the dark, whatever, neon little pieces throughout anyway, so it kind of blends in. But yeah, it definitely has stained pink a little bit. Like if you look at the back, I feel like you can definitely see the difference between the front and the back. I don't know if it shows up on camera, but in real life there's definitely a pink hue on the front. But I have been meaning to, like, I don't know, wash it or figure out a way to get it out. I just kind of forgot about it because I haven't needed to wear this top since then, because I do actually plan on like unraveling the H and the S and then just keeping this as a crop top to wear. But I'll do that at some point, and I'll try to figure out how to get the pink out of it. But you know what, it's leftover yarn and it was a great concert outfit and I'm really not that mad about it. So that's that. And okay, what's next? Okay, this is one I actually literally just finished like the other night, and like I think I took it off the blocking mat yesterday. Yeah, I think yesterday. So this is fresh, but I have been working on it for a little while, maybe like a month. I don't know, just here and there, not consistently. But this is my outline tank. Just show it off in all its glory. It's the same on the front and the back, but yeah. By Jessie May, knit in Woolen Works once again. Sock yarn in the shade Fairy Looking, which is probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite colorway that she's ever done, and I'm just obsessed with it, and I'm so happy with how this turned out. This didn't even use a full skein. I still had a tiny bit left over. So yeah, that's once again like 400 meters. It goes a long way. You can make a whole piece if you make it cropped. You can make a whole piece in that yarn, just one skein. So yeah, this pattern was super fun to knit. I did actually have a bit of a disaster with the drop stitches for one of the cups, because I just made like one mistake on the way, like doing my decreases, and I didn't realize, and then only realized once I was already dropping the stitches, and that was like so scary and like stressful to deal with because a bunch of other stitches started coming undone. So I basically had to frog. I was just not worth saving, so I just had to frog what I had done of the cup and then just basically reknit it. And we didn't have that issue again. I just paid more attention to my decreases for the rest of it. So yeah, and blocking was absolutely essential for this one. It definitely did not look like this before I blocked it. Like I feel like the edges kind of just curled in and you couldn't really see the drop stitch detail, and just generally it didn't really fit how I wanted to. It was very kind of tighter, and I think the blocking really helped to relax the stitches and open up the drop stitches and give it that cool tank top loosey, like I'd wear it over a bikini kind of thing, except it's literally like autumn, it's raining outside and I'm going into winter, so this one took me a little bit too long to make. But I've got it for next summer, so that's good. But yeah, that's definitely what I would personally wear it for, and it's definitely a great pattern. Super easy and very repetitive. Like you do the exact same thing for all, like the front and the back for the cups, like it's the exact same thing. So like I had it kind of memorized by the time I was doing the back or the front, whatever. By the time I was doing this third and fourth cup, I had it memorized, so I didn't really even need to look back at the pattern. So yeah, it's just wonderful. And it was knit obviously on, yeah, fingering weight yarn, used 3.5mm needles, and I actually knit this English style, which I'm starting to do more and more. Like this one was also knit English style. With smaller yarn, I'm just finding that, especially when I'm doing stockinette, it really has helped me to kind of neaten up my gauge, tighten up my gauge, and yeah, like neaten my stitches and make everything look a little bit more professional and nice. It is a bit slower, but I'm getting better. I'm still working on my English style pearls, but my English style knits are definitely coming along. So that's this one all done. I reckon if I had knit this one continental, I would have finished it a lot quicker, but it probably wouldn't have looked as good. So yeah, I'll just like give you a minute to like really admire this yarn, because it is just so gorgeous. Like I'm just obsessed with it, and I want it on every base pretty much. Okay, another FO that took me so much longer than it should have to finish it, because once I actually kind of got around to finishing it, I really didn't take long. But this, yeah, once again, I made it for summer and then just took my time with it and kind of finished it. It was a bit too late to wear it. I might have worn it maybe once, but like it's just not been warm enough to wear it since then, so it's a shame, but got it for next year. So this is an unnamed improvised top. It's got this cool little eyelet detail at the bottom. It's actually the second one that I made, because the first one I made was too big for me, because I was just improvising it. So sometimes when I improvise things, they don't work out. And yeah, that one's for sale, but this one is for me because I wanted one for me, and I used some leftover, I'm trying to work out which is the front and which is the back. I think, yeah, this is the front. I used some leftover Wool and the Gang Alpacino Merino for this one, and I still have some leftovers, so I feel like I'm just never going to get through this yarn. But yeah, it's really simple, like not much to say about it. It's cute, it's fun. Also knit English style, so yeah, like I said, I'm really kind of getting into English style knitting, which is wild for me to say, but it has its place and it's got its purpose for me in my project. This one was really fun, and I really don't have that much else to say about it because it's just improvised and it's just a crop top, but it's cute. Okay, so I actually said that like I was not gonna do any test knits. Like I told myself I'm not gonna do any test knits until like at least the book is done, because I was like, I'm not gonna have time for that. But I broke that pretty quickly because I saw that Cara was doing one of her test knit, like one of her drops, which she does, and I saw this pattern and I had the yarn for it already, and I didn't know what I was going to do with the yarn, and so I was like, it's on 15mm needles. I kind of want this pattern, like I want this in my wardrobe. I don't have enough cardigans, and I applied. And then when I got selected, I literally did it in like 2 days. It was such a quick knit, so no regrets, because I really don't think, I think I did it on the weekend as well, which is like I do less work on the weekend anyway, so this didn't really impact my work ethic or anything, or my workflow. So this is my Better Days cardigan, and the pattern is actually out. She's just released it, so go check it out and check out all the other wonderful patterns that she's just released. Some of them are just gorgeous. Well, they're all just gorgeous, but like there are a few that I'm like, ooh, stunning. Some gorgeous like lace patterns and stuff. But if you're just wanting something a little bit more low-key and you don't want to worry about complicated lace stitches, this is it. This is the one for you. It's super colorful. I haven't done, I feel like my wardrobe's been getting a little bit less colorful, if that makes sense. Like I haven't been doing as many multicolored projects. So I was really excited to work up some stripes. I used Hip Knit Shop Fluff yarn. This is held double. And for the size small, I used exactly like 2 skeins of each color. Like, we were playing yarn chicken a little bit, but we did get there in the end, so everything was fine. But it was a little bit stressful. I think the pattern is actually written just for 2 colors, but I had 3. I wouldn't have had enough yarn if I only used 2, so I just ended up using 3. But yeah, it's super, super cute, and it's, yeah, like I said, knit on 15mm needles, so it literally works up so quickly. It's worked from the top down, just like basic raglan, and I did mine without buttons, but it has instructions on how to do the buttonholes and to add buttons. I just didn't really feel like that was the look I was going for. I kind of preferred like a more kind of open, loose cardigan I can just kind of throw on a night where it's like maybe, you know, a little bit chilly but not like too cold, you know. So yeah, and I've been wearing it quite a bit. I wore it to the Lord concert, which was fun. I have worn it just out in general. I took it yesterday to a skate meetup, and took some photos and videos in it there, which was cool. But then I got like stressed that I was gonna ruin it if I fell, so then I went and took it off. But yeah, it was still fun to get that content, you know. Yeah, definitely go check it out. It's the Better Days cardigan, and it's super, super fun, quick, fun, fluffy knit, and this yarn is just probably one of my favorite yarns that I've ever worked with. It is just so soft. Okay, so that's it for FOs that I'm going to be able to show you. Obviously, there's been quite a lot more with the cardigan and the book patterns, but like I said, can't show you those. So the last one is just one whip that I'm going to show you, and because I've, as you can see, kind of been finishing quite a few of my random whips lately, so I really don't have that many whips that aren't book or cardigan related on the needles, but I do have one that I have been working on since January, and the goal was to finish it by Mother's Day, and I have informed my mum that it's probably not going to happen, as sad as that is, because I really was hoping I would be able to do it, and I just don't think it's going to happen, just because I'm really overwhelmed with how much I have to knit at the moment in this next like whatever month or so before Mother's Day. So yeah, I'm going to do my best to get it to her as soon as I can, but it's not going to be done, I think, by Mother's Day, but that's fine. It's a absolute mammoth of a knit for me, especially like with what I'm used to. So I'm pretty proud of myself for getting this far. I will tell you what it is. Oh my goodness, it's so heavy. So this is my progress that I've made. Oh, I'm just untangling it. Of my Jenny sweater by Petite Knit, which is my first time doing a Petite Knit pattern, which I think I've already talked about. It's for my mum. I'm probably gonna steal it from her here and there if I like how it looks on me, because I've been staring at this thing for months and I want to be able to at least wear it once. So I'm sure she'll be okay with that. I'm trying to find a way to hold it because I'm currently working on the yoke, but it's worked bottom up, so it's just a bit difficult to like hold up. But let me just try my best. All right, I mean, I have to go like this, I think, because it's literally that big. So I'm just gonna like do like up and down. I don't really know how much of this is getting on camera, but yeah, this is where we're at. So let me try and properly show you. So this is an insane amount. I don't think you understand. Like, oh my god, I have like definitely over 400 stitches on my needles right now. I think when I started the yoke I had over 500. I'm using, my friend Chloe lent me her like I think 120 centimeter cord because my 100 centimeter one was too small, and like it literally broke because there were too many stitches on it, and I like that was a time that was stressful. But yeah, so it's worked from the bottom up. So you work the body up until the armholes, and then you leave the stitches aside, and then you work the 2 sleeves from the bottom up until the armholes as well. So like these sleeves were worked separately. It's worked in this beautiful, beautiful smock stitch, and then once you get to the armholes and you want to start working up the yoke, you like connect the I mean, there's a big hole there now, I assume that will be like fixed, but like yeah, you connect the sleeves to the body and you start working decreases to, as you can see, like make the kind of raglan look, even though it's worked bottom up. So that kind of blew my mind. It's been fun, but it's just so tedious, and I am knitting this one continental, and it has actually started hurting my hands quite a lot. So like a couple weeks ago, I was still working on one of the sleeves, and I took it with me to, we had like a knit picnic meetup thing with like my like Melbourne knitting friends that I've made through Instagram. We have like a cute little Facebook and Instagram group and whatever. We do like these meetups, and we had a cute little picnic, and I ended up being there for like 5 hours because I was one of the first ones there. And then like as more people started to come, like I just didn't want to leave because like obviously I wanted to talk to like everyone that came. So I ended up being there from like 12 till 5, which was just like crazy. And I was knitting, I would say, like most of the time, just chipping away at the sleeve. And then I got home and I was like up to the point where I needed to join the sleeve to the yoke, and I was just so excited about finally doing that. So I like did that, but then I was like, oh, I just want to like keep going. So then I just kept going, and like at that point I feel like I'd probably been knitting for like 9 hours. Like it got to like 12, 1 in the morning, and I was just like, oh my God, like I've literally just been doing this all day, and my hands were starting to cramp and my wrists were in pain. So I like left it, went to sleep, and then like for the next like week I had really bad pain in my wrists, and I didn't pick it up because I was too scared to like hurt myself again. And that was really scary actually, because I need my hands to not be in pain. I have a lot of knitting to do over this time, and I really can't afford to like injure myself or like get carpal tunnel or have like any kind of, you know, permanent or ongoing pain. So I like kind of freaked out, took a bit of a break from like projects that gave me any kind of strain. I attempted to use some like wrist braces, but I don't actually think they helped me. I actually think they might have made it worse, so I kind of stopped doing that. One of my friends who's like a nurse gave me a massage, and it literally like healed, I want to say healed me, because I wasn't like necessarily completely injured. I think I was just strained, but like that massage like changed everything for me. I was like fine after that. So now I've just been careful. I've been doing more stretches, taking more breaks, and really listening to my body and not overdoing it like I did that day, because that was a serious wake-up call that like you're not invincible. You cannot knit all day, especially on 4mm needles with over 500 stitches and in 2x2 ribbing. So yeah, that was a bit scary, but also, yeah, that's probably another reason why I'm like to my mum, I don't know if I'm gonna finish this one before Mother's Day, just because it does for some reason hurt my hands more than my other projects. So I'm just trying to protect myself, and she is obviously very understanding. So she's like just grateful that I'm making her something like that is especially something this laborious. And so yeah, she's like literally whenever it's done does not matter. So bless her for not caring, but yeah, like not caring when she gets it is what I mean. Not caring about me. She cares about me. But yeah, so I did work a couple of rows the other night, and I was feeling like I'm starting to feel the decreases. Like I'm starting to feel that there are less stitches per row, which is really nice, because for the first couple of rows I was like, I'm making decreases, but I don't feel like I'm making decreases because there's just so many stitches, and I just don't feel like this is ever going to end. But now I'm like, okay, it's going to start getting smaller, and eventually I'm going to be able to go down a cord size, which will be nice, and eventually, you know, I'll get there eventually. So yeah, that's basically where we're at. I think the pattern is really cool and it's looking amazing. Like I feel like this looks super professional. I'm interested to see what happens when I block it, because it is super wash. So yeah, I'm like, do I just put it in the washing machine? Like I'm a bit scared to put it in, like just to block it by hand, because I feel like superwash has a tendency to like grow a lot, and this is already quite big, and I just like don't know if I want it to be like bigger than it is. I guess we'll just see. My mum will try it on when it's finished, and we'll decide the appropriate blocking method from there. But yeah, like I just think that this like smock stitch looks so good. I think the ribbing, it's like 2x1 rib, so I think right now it just looks like I've done stockinette, but there's actually some purl stitches in there, so I think blocking will help with kind of showing that a bit more. But also if it doesn't, then it doesn't. I still think it looks good. I didn't say what yarn I'm using. It's like the Fiddlesticks Pepin 8-ply superwash merino yarn in the shade Peony. It's a pretty common yarn I've seen in a lot of yarn stores in Australia. I'm not sure if they're based in Australia or what the deal is there, but if you're in Australia, it's pretty accessible at most like local yarn stores. You'd probably be able to find it. And I really recommend it. It's super soft, which was very important to my mum. She is very picky, which is why I was like not going to buy any yarn online unless it was something I'd already used. But yeah, I just decided to go with an 8 ply, even though the pattern calls for, I think, a fingering and a lace or something. But it equals an 8 ply, and I've matched gauge, and this looks great. It just doesn't have like a mohair. So it's not as fluffy, but I think that's actually better for my mum because she is a bit sensitive. So it's worked out well. And I think I've rambled about this for long enough because I could probably talk about this pattern all day since it's consumed so much of my life over the last couple months. But I think if you're choosing between the Jenny jacket and the Jenny sweater, I have heard that the Jenny sweater is easier than the jacket. So I don't know, I haven't done the jacket. I'm not sure exactly why it would be easier. I assume because it's all knitted in the round, maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but it's been good. I'm glad my mum chose the jumper over the jacket. And it's been a good challenge, and I'm really looking forward to finishing it. But what I do not understand is how some people literally only knit like petite knit patterns or patterns like this where like it's all on like tiny needles and you're working on it for a million years. Like, I don't know how people don't lose all their motivation and want to cry, because like I'm not like the kind of person who is like, oh, I only knit chunky knits. Like, that's just not true. Like, even though I'm writing a book that is like quick knits, like they're not all super chunky. I think my happy place is like 8mm needles. Like that's what hurts me the least, and what I'm still super quick at. But then when you wear it, it's not like too heavy. So that's like the perfect, that's like the perfect in between, like happy medium for me. But I do love a good, like, you know, I just showed you like my outline tank on 3.5mm needles. Like, you know, I do love a good thin knit, like thin yarn knit. Like, I mean, this is my own pattern. It's fingering weight. So yeah, I'm definitely not particularly biased, but I will say, like, I don't think I could do like patterns like the Jenny sweater that are so intensely like laborious or whatever it is, that are just so tedious, like for every single knit. Like, that would be crazy. It's also like way longer than I would normally do. Like, that's one of the reasons my mum wanted to like, she wanted that one, is because it was not cropped, and like pretty much everything I make is cropped because I always wear like high-waisted pants. And so whenever she wants to like wear one of my knits, she'll like try it on and be like, it's too cropped for me. So I was like, let me make you something that you'll actually wear. But like, the trade-off is that it's really long and it's going to take me way longer than what I guess a general jumper would take for me. Plus the fact that it's like on 4mm needles is super intense, and like, yeah. But we're getting there, and it's definitely a good learning experience for me. It's also definitely a nice change from like my other projects. It's like, it's a very different experience. I have to be in like a certain mood really to do it. But yeah, props, I guess, to the people who like only knit petite knit or petite knit adjacent patterns, because mad respect. Like, I literally don't know how you do it, and don't either break your hands or wrists, or just like want to like destroy everything, because I would just get so impatient, honestly, and get so frustrated. Like, but that's just me, and I totally understand that some people really like to like spread out their like projects and like work on something for a really long time and then get to wear it and then like rinse repeat basically. So yeah, I guess it's like just for a different type of knitter. But we're exploring it, you know? I think I've rambled for long enough. I have no idea how long I've been filming, but it's definitely been a while. I think it was necessary because obviously it's been a long time since I've done one of these videos, and we had a lot to catch up on. I'm so excited to share more of this journey that I'm currently on over the next couple of months, writing the book, and then of course like the patterns will be going into testing at some point. I will definitely keep you updated on that. If you want to test knit any of my book patterns, there will definitely be opportunities for that coming very soon, and that's going to be really fun, just to like see people knitting up my patterns for the book. And then obviously once it's available for pre-order and I can like show you the cover and the title and everything, I will. And then of course, you know, you can pre-order it then, and then hopefully, if all goes to plan, it will come out early next year. So yeah, very exciting. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. And then I guess, yeah, like in the second half of the year is probably when I'll start releasing more patterns of my own, because I will have more time to do that. So yeah, I think we've covered everything. I do have some yarn that I bought at a craft market last weekend, but I just think I've been talking for long enough, and it's just like all woolen works and it's all beautiful, but I don't think I'm going to go into that right now. Maybe when I use the yarn I'll talk about it, of course, but until then, yeah, I think I'm just going to leave this video here because I've been talking for a while and you're probably sick of listening to my voice. Thank you so much for watching and making it through and sticking with me and being patient, because I haven't uploaded in a while. I don't know if you've even noticed that, because a lot of the time when YouTubers will be like, I've been gone for a while, I'll be like, have you? I didn't even realize. So yeah, I know time can kind of just pass us by, which it's definitely passed me by. I like couldn't believe how long it's been since I've uploaded, since I was uploading weekly, and now I'm like, oh, don't think I can keep that up, but I'll do my best, and when I have ideas for videos, I'll definitely film them and get them up when I can. So yeah, it might be a podcast that you see next. It might be something else. I really don't know, but I guess until I see you next, follow me on Instagram to keep up with everything I'm doing. And I hope you were productive and got some knitting done in that time. And yeah, I guess I'll just see you in the next one. Bye.